So let's get into the Rise Fund. Now, I remember a month, it's probably been 2 months. It's starting to feel like COVID is merging my days.
Yes.
I don't even know what day it is. But it was a few months ago when I started to hear about the Rise Fund, and we were in the middle of experiencing a lot of small businesses getting rejection letters, right?
Yes.
It was a lot of rejection letters from, funds that were supposed to be for them, literally. So when you would
Yes.
hear the conversation on the news, or you would read online, and you read about like who they're lending to, and then a month later you saw who actually got the money,
Yes.
right? Night and day. And so, it was conversations, well, my frustration, our conversations about the rejection letters, about the businesses that were receiving the emergency funds and the ones that did not, led to me learning about, the movement behind the Rise Fund. So until MJ gets here, I'd love for you to share with us what the fund actually is and who it's targeting.
Okay. So you said a lot of really great information about the struggles of finding funding for small businesses. And I say this to my clients, I say this to everyone, get your paperwork together. That was by far the biggest issue for a lot of small businesses. Make sure you're paying yourself, make sure you're tracking it, make sure you're not just taking income out of the business. And that's where the ownership structure is so important. If you do a partnership, you can have K1s. If you are a sole proprietor, contract out to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't have to pay on the taxes for paying yourself. You just pay yourself 10%. I think that was the biggest thing I saw with a lot of businesses. And then unfortunately, the people who put together these loan programs don't work with small businesses, so they don't understand how difficult it can be to do something that seems as simple as getting your paperwork together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we created Rise because we saw a lot of small businesses, micro businesses, people with less than 10 employees, people who probably employ themselves and their family members, unable to get PPP because they don't actually take out income from the business. And that's why Rise doesn't have that income requirement. That's why we ask for minimal documents, as little as possible for us to ensure your business actually exists and you actually need our money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we're in Miami, rent, mortgages, those are the biggest issue. And that's why for the loan amount, when you apply, it's either 3 times your residential rent or 6 times your commercial lease. So we focus it directly on rent relief, but you can use that for anything needed surrounding COVID-19, right? And that was the thinking behind it. Maximum $30,000, no more than 50% of your annual revenue. So if you ask for 30, but you only made 10,000 last year, we're going to give you 5. And that's not to be mean. It's to make sure your debt to income ratio stays low enough that if you do need another loan, you can go out and get it. But this is an emergency relief for you and your business. And that 10,000 and that $5,000 out of that 10,000 is paid over 3 years with 0.25% interest rate, and you don't have to pay for the first 3 months.
Did you say 0.25 interest?
3.25.
Okay.
We're at prime. Yeah, 3.25.
Okay. 3.25 is actually really great.
Yes.
So what
lowest,
is
yeah.